When it's time, it's time. Guess what? It's time. It's time to take action. Even if you have the vision to see opportunities, even if you are able to attract opportunities, even if you are ready to act, it won't mean a thing unless you take action. You can have the most ambitious goal list of all time, but it doesn't mean a thing if you don't take action toward the realization of those goals. Until number 10 states, until our thoughts, actions, and deeds become consistent with our stated words and expressed desires, we will never achieve our maximum potential and evolve as a species. Let's go all the way back to law number 1, the law of actuality. No living person or system can remain in existence for very long without first having arrived at a level of full, realistic awareness of their own existence, sensations, thoughts, and surroundings, and then responding accordingly after having done so. In other words, we must be willing to tell it like it is. Are you willing to do that? Let's go back to law number 2, the law of the long term. Repeated short-term discipline brings long-term rewards. Consequently, one must place reasonable limits on short-term pleasures with the understanding long-term benefits will be the result. The short-term work you put in today will pay massive benefits over the long term. It's those little day-to-day incremental improvements that add up over time. If you want to change, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Success requires sacrifice. The first step to a good plan is deciding what you are willing to give up. So I ask you, what are you willing to give up? Now, let's go back to law number 3, the law of personal responsibility. One must stop blaming others for anything wrong in their life. In fact, one must also stop blaming themselves. Blame is irrelevant. All that matters is what are you going to do to fix the problem. Remember, blame is irrelevant. Blame pretends to be necessary, but it's not. It serves no useful purpose. Just focus on fixing the problem. Let's go back to law number 4, the law of change. Everyone wants change, but few are willing to change. That's not the way it works. Change requires work. If one wants to see changes in their life and in their world, they're going to have to change first. Change starts with you. If you don't get what you want, it's a sign either that you did not seriously want it or that you tried to bargain over the price. Either you want it or you don't. It's just that simple. Either you're willing to put in the hard work or you're not. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Let's go back to law number 5, the law of focus. Whatever we focus our attention on expands in our lives. If one focuses on positives, then positives will occur in their life. If one focuses on negatives, then negatives will occur in one's life. Consequently, the ability to focus positively on the most important task at hand is the key to success. Either you're focusing your time and energy on doing what it takes, or you're not. Which is it? Let's go back to law number 6, the law of perspective. Sometimes life requires a change in perspective. One's previous life challenges have made them into the person they are today and given them the potential to develop a fuller perspective as a result, provided they learn from such experiences and move on as opposed to dwelling on them and looking back. Have you made mistakes in the past? Remember, your past mistakes are there to guide you, not to define you. You are not the mistakes you've made. Examine your past, learn from it, and move on. Leave your past in the past, which is where it belongs. Let's go back to law number 7, the law of vision. Visionaries see the future finished in advance. Visionaries see that which others do not see. Visionaries see that which is possible before it becomes obvious. Consequently, one must look inside themselves and form a vision of their best possible future. No one else will do it for you. Are you willing to take a deep, hard look inside yourself, even if you might not like what you see? Let's go back to law number 8, the law of attraction/reciprocity. What one gives to the world is what they will be given back. One must pay attention to that which they attract most. If they constantly attract desirable things, then little or no change is necessary. If one constantly attracts undesirable things, then change is required if one wishes to attract more desirable outcomes. Remember, you have to give before you get. Are you willing to put out the effort before you see the results? Let's go back to law number 9, the law of readiness. One must constantly prepare themselves so they are ready to act when desirable opportunities come their way. Luck favors the prepared, as opportunities won't always wait. If you start a new productive activity and devote 15 minutes per day to it, that would be the equivalent of 9 workdays at 10 hours each over the course of a year. 1 hour per day would get you an extra month of 12-hour workdays over the course of a year. I challenge you to devote an hour a day toward getting ready. Are you up for that challenge? Even if you're still with me after the first 9 laws, it won't mean a thing if you don't act. Hence the need for law number 10, the law of action. Envisioning, attracting, and preparing for desirable opportunities will accomplish nothing if one fails to take action upon said opportunities. Do not wait for things to come to you. Instead, take action. Make it happen. Set appropriate goals and then take appropriate action toward the realization of said goals. In plain English, that means one must take action in order to take advantage of opportunities. Do not wait for things to come to you. Get moving and make things happen. In even plainer English, if you want something to happen, get off your rear and make it happen. Action is the foundational key to all success. Don't wait until you get things perfect before taking action. In most circumstances, imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. That's an idea that we're going to discuss in greater detail in the next video on concept number 11. Most people think success is going from point A to point B in a straight line. That's not quite the way it works. There are almost always starts and stops, twists and turns, ups and downs, and obstacles along the way. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. Actions prove who a person really is. Words just prove who they want to be. So I ask you, what are you willing to do? By incorporating law number 10, the law of action, into our lives, we will be creating a society that encourages its members to act in a manner that is consistent with their stated goals and desires and to be appropriately rewarded for having done so. Wouldn't the world be a better place if we all started acting in a manner that would create the kind of world we want instead of waiting around for someone else to create that world for us? Are you ready for more? If so, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified as I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Be sure to watch the videos all the way to the end, as the stuff at the end is usually just as important as the stuff in the beginning, if not more. With that said and done, it's time for you to move on to the next video in the playlist, concept number 11, the power of persistence.